Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of Gavin Reviews. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Polaroid camera. Today's Polaroid camera that we're going to be taking a look at is actually one I got off of, of eBay, and this was the only model that I could find. It's actually really interestingly the last Polaroid camera they ever made. It's called the Polaroid 1600 Pro, I think. Don't quote me on that. But yes, this is very interesting. It's the last camera they ever made, and let's just hop right into it. I don't think there's anything that really needs to be said about that other than don't dox me, please and thank you. Okay. Let's see if I can use this key to cut it open, since we can't use any specific objects, if you know what I'm referencing to. Spray tape. Kudos to the person who packed it. All right. So now let's take a look here, and what is this piece of paper? Let's see. Oh, that's the order form. Don't look at that. All right, so first of all here, we've got two sheets of, not sheets, but you know what I mean, they're those, okay? And we've also got the Polaroid camera itself. Now I did order it so that it came with a carrying case, because obviously you have to have something to carry your Polaroid camera. Otherwise you're gonna lose it and drop it, and that's not good. So, here it is. Now, coincidentally, I've actually also brought along another Polaroid camera that we can use to compare. This is one of the Spectra lineup. It is a wider film format, but funnily enough, they actually stopped producing this in 2019, the film for it, which is unfortunate because it's a really nice format, it's a really nice camera, but for today's purposes, we're only gonna use it for comparison between the two cameras. For reference, this is about 1980s. All right, so first of all, let's just get the Polaroid camera out of the way that I bought off of eBay. Taking it out of the bag, it's gonna be in this nice compact format. And a couple things you'll notice right off the bat are the red eye reduction, the timer button, the lighten and darken switch, the film counter, and the shutter button. This section right here is actually where the viewfinder is going to pop up. And this is the front of the camera. This is where the film's gonna shoot out, and you have the Polaroid logo right here. All right, now let's slide this to the side and take a look at the other Polaroid Spectra camera. Opening it up, you're just gonna see that it is much more varied materials, and it is also quite compact, just like this one. Looking at it, you've got this sort of soft touch rubber, as well as this very solid, very nice plastic. You've got a viewfinder back here, feet and meter switcher, chime, no chime, timer switch, autofocus switch, light switch, or flash switch, exposure control, frame counter, shutter button, and this is where the film pops out. Now you may be wondering, where is the lens on any of these? And that is actually a fantastic question to ask, because it's not really noticeable on any of these. But what's really cool about these specific cameras, and the reason why I chose this Polaroid camera in particular, is because the way it opens up is like this. That's cool, huh? I actually like it a lot because it folds down really nice and compact, and really this, I found this one at a garage sale when I first picked it up, and that was one of the really cool features to me, is that it pops up just like that, and you can put your hand in here and, you know, take the picture. But unfortunately, they don't make the film for it anymore, so I wanted something that was a comparable experience, and that's where this comes in. So looking at the front of the device, you've got the flash right here, as well as the actual lens itself with a couple of details, the viewfinder, and some sensors right here. Taking a look for comparison to the Polaroid Spectra system camera. By the way, here's the slide for this. You've got the autofocus sonar detector, the lens right here, the viewfinder, and the flash. Now, something I do believe, I'm not entirely sure. So this lens right here on this camera is actually a plastic lens, which means it's going to be a little bit lower quality and a little bit cheaper, whereas this lens right here is actually a glass lens. And that's one of the drawbacks of these later Polaroid cameras, is that they are actually lower quality. Especially in the plastic, you can feel it quite a bit. This is very cheap feeling, very light, very plasticky, where this is very, very quality material right here. You'll also notice that whereas this one comes with the solid hard shell carrying case, this is more of a bag. Now, moving on from comparing both of these cameras, let's get to opening up the actual internals of it. So you might be wondering where you would put in the film for this camera. And if you look in right here, there's actually a little button that says film. You press this button right here and the bottom pops open, which is where you're gonna slot in your film. Now, coincidentally, I've also bought 3 packages of film from Polaroid. They've been revived since about 2018, I want to say. And they've been producing film for 600 series I-type and SX70 cameras. So today what we're going to do is we're just going to take one of these films and we are going to take a couple shots. So first let's go through loading up the camera. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to open your box of film right here. So let's go ahead and crack that open here real quick. All right, perfect. Now it's gonna come in this little pouch right here. This pouch is to protect it from any sunshine or any light entering the film, as it is extremely sensitive, being undeveloped film. Now, second thing second, we're gonna press this film button right here. We're gonna pop open this container. So now what we're going to do is crack this open. All right, we're gonna tear that open right there. And the dark slides actually have this little sort of fun thing here. It says, keep your friends close and your Polaroid film in the fridge. That's a little nod to the fact that storing Polaroid film in the fridge actually keeps it fresh and secure for longer instead of going bad. All right, now what we're gonna do next is we're actually going to slide this little cartridge in just like that until it clicks, just like that. And then when I close this up, it's going to spit out that dark slide, okay? So let's go 3, 2, 1. There you go. Now the film is loaded and it is ready for use. And I think it would be perfect for us to go outside and take a couple shots with it. So if you'll just follow me. All right, now let's find the subject for our first film. Something important to point out is that if you look at the film counter right here, it says 10, but you actually only have 8 shots for this film. That's because the company that bought the Polaroid name and started producing this film is a new company, and they can only fit the thickness of 8 shots instead of the regular 10. Which is unfortunate, but it's fortunate at the same time that we have the ability to shoot Polaroid still. So let us pick a subject here. Kate, do you want to be our first subject? All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look through this viewfinder right here. Let's see if you can see it.
A little bit.
A little bit? But now what we're going to do is we're going to look through the viewfinder, make sure everything is framed correctly, press the shutter button halfway down, and make sure that the green light is solid, and then press the button. All right, now the first thing you're gonna wanna do is fold this under like this and actually keep the film in a dark place. These do take about 10 to 15 minutes to expose, and the first 10 to 15 seconds that they're in light, they're very susceptible to changes in the film chemistry, which is why it's important to keep them in a dark and semi-warm place. This time, we're going to take a photo of a non-human subject. Let's go over here. Let's do some plants. Plants are good. Everybody loves plants, you know? Characteristically, Polaroid cameras actually they love light. They love light when they photo photographs. And that is something you really have to watch out for when you're shooting a Polaroid film, is looking out for which areas have the most light and where to capture that perfect image. So now let's frame up our shot. I kind of want to get a little bit closer to this. And we're gonna press the shutter button down halfway, and then make sure the light is green, and take the shot. All right, perfect. Now let's do the same thing. Open up our pouch and put in there, just to make sure that they expose correctly. And today I think we're gonna take one more image, so if you'll just follow me, let us find something to take a picture of. You know what I think might be a great shot to have is a picture of the building Cornerstone Charter Academy. So let us actually, we're gonna go on a little bit more of a field trip than we already have. Right, we're gonna walk all the way over here to create the infamous shot, the front page of Cornerstone. I think this is the spot. So this is the spot that we're gonna shoot right here, and I'm going to, once again, a very repetitive process, but same deal as before. Make sure my view is correct, and then I'm going to hold down halfway, and I'm going to make sure that light is green. We're gonna head back inside. See you in there. All right, now that we're back in the classroom, we can go ahead and take our Polaroid photos out, and let's take a look at how they turned out. All right, so here comes the big reveal. I'm actually going to do the first ones first. So this is the first one that we took of our beautiful subject, Kate. You'll see that it has a tremendous color. Not really, but that's because it's actually still developing. So what's happening right now is that the chemistry forming these compounds that are creating the color. And that happens for 10 to 15 minutes after the photo is taken. But you can see here that we have great oranges in our photo and we have great blues, but something I noticed is a little bit more washed out is the greens and the lighter tones. I also noticed that there's a bit of streaking on here, which may have something to do with the film, or it may have something to do with the way that the rollers push out the film, or the frog tongue, which is the little bit that sticks out to cover the photo. Moving on to our next photo, it should be the plants that we took a picture of. This one is very nice. I think it's a little dark, but I also think that's still because it's developing and processing the film right now. You'll see that the greens are a little washed out on this one as well, although it was in pretty much direct sunlight, so I wouldn't expect anything too much from it. There's a lot of great highlights with the yellow sun coming in, and I think that really emphasizes the picture. All right, moving on to the next one. We're gonna take one final look at the final photo that we've taken today, which is the infamous photo of our school. Everybody knows it from the front of the website. You can see that there's actually might still be developing right now. If you take a look, you can actually see some of the film is actually a little bit degraded up here at the top, which is really interesting. Something with the chemistry or the colors must have, been damaged in shipping or when it was getting pushed out of the camera. That's really interesting to see, and I think the whole nature of Polaroid cameras is to just go with the flow. So those little imperfections are really just part of your image, and I think you have to roll with that, and that's part of the beauty of it. On this one, I think the greens are a little bit better. However, when the sun is right over here, you can see that really in this region, there's a lot of stuff that gets washed out and a lot of detail lost. Right, to conclude, I think that Polaroid cameras and Polaroid film and just shooting Polaroid in general is something that is really neat and it's really novelty. However, it's not the same as it used to be because you used to have to do it out of necessity, whereas now it's more of a creative decision. It doesn't have the same weight that it used to. Still, it's a very nice, very neat effect, and really I think it's just the most authentic way to take a picture in the moment. It really holds the idea of capturing a memory in a photo at the core of its purpose. And that's something you don't see with digital cameras or something you don't see with your phone nowadays, because you can take pictures so readily that there's not really any thought going into them. But with these Polaroid cameras, you have 8 shots and you have to put a lot more thought and care into the photo to create those memories that will last essentially a lifetime. But anyways, that's gonna be it for us today. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment on the video to tell us how we did. If you'd like to see more reviews, just let us know. Make sure to type it in the comments below. Don't blow the budget because I'm not made of money. But I think that's gonna do it for us today. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.